that a plane has crashed into one of the towers of the World Trade Center.
You can see the two towers, a huge explosion now, raining debris on all of us. We better get out of the way.
On the morning of September 11, 2001, the United States experienced a devastating terrorist attack that would change the country and the world forever. Coordinated by the extremist group Al-Qaeda, the attacks involved the hijacking and crashing of 4 commercial airliners. The first 2 planes, American Airlines Flight 11 and United Airlines Flight 175, were crashed into the north and south towers of the World Trade Center in New York City. The impact of the planes caused the towers to collapse, killing everybody on board and many people who were in or near the towers at the time. The third plane, American Airlines Flight 77, was crashed into the Pentagon in Arlington, Virginia, just outside of Washington, D.C., killing 125 military personnel and civilians. The fourth plane, United Airlines Flight 93, was intended to be crashed into either the White House or the U.S. Capitol building in Washington, D.C., but due to the actions of the passengers on board, the plane crashed into a field near Shanksville, Pennsylvania, killing all 40 passengers and crew on board. The attacks on September 11th resulted in the deaths of over 2,900 people and the injury of over 6,000 others. It was the deadliest terrorist attack in world history and the single deadliest incident for firefighters and law enforcement officers in the history of the United States, with 343 injured and 72 killed, respectively. The attacks prompted the United States to launch a global war on terror and led to the invasion of Afghanistan, where Al-Qaeda has been based. The attacks also led to significant changes in US domestic and foreign policy, including the creation of the Department of Homeland Security and the passage of the USA Patriot Act. In the aftermath of the attacks, there was a widespread outpouring of grief and solidarity. Memorials and tributes were held around the world, and people came together to support the victims and their families. The attacks had a significant economic impact as well, with the Dow Jones Industrial Average dropping 684 points or 7.1% in the first week after the attacks. The attacks also had a major impact on the airline industry, with many people afraid to fly. One of the most striking images from the attacks was the collapse of the World Trade Center towers. The towers, which had been a symbol of American prosperity and strength, crumbled to the ground in a matter of seconds, killing thousands of people and causing billions of dollars in damage. The collapse of the towers was caused by a combination of factors, including the impact of the planes, the fires that were ignited by the fuel, and the structural damage caused by the impact. The collapse led to the deaths of many people who were working in or near the towers at the time, as well as first responders who were trying to rescue people from the buildings. The attacks on September 11th had a profound and lasting impact on the United States and the world. In the years following the attacks, there have been numerous debates and discussions about the events of September 11th and their consequences. Some have argued that the US response to the attacks, including the invasion of Afghanistan and Iraq, was justified and necessary, while others have argued that the actions taken by the US government have had negative consequences and have led to further conflicts and instability in the region. Regardless of one's perspective on the events of September 11th and their aftermath, it is clear that the attacks had a significant and lasting impact on the United States and the world. The memories of those who lost their lives and the heroism of those who responded to the attacks will never be forgotten.